Oh man, the 2022 Detroit Lions was a really fun team to watch this year, man. And they almost made the playoffs, man, coming up so short in so many games. But in 2023 offseason, they have a lot of problems to fix so they can come back stronger and better, man. And in today's video, we're going to go through what they need to fix and how they can fix it and what players can fill those voids. So let's get straight into it, man. Before that, I am fourth and goal, better known as Rigby or Rigby Logical Man, and I am your host of this channel. So let's get straight into it officially. So, the very first thing that the Detroit Lions have to address this offseason, and that is the D line, the defensive line. Now, as y'all know, they did draft Aiden Hutchinson with the second overall pick in the 2022 NFL Draft. But the thing is, that is simply just not enough. Now, as you can see right here, the Detroit Lions, they were a highly blitzed team, but they could not get to the quarterback really well. And the thing is, though, only relying on Aiden Hutchinson, and yes, they had James Houston, but he did not play the full season. He only played about 8-9 games. You got to have more pressure, more weapons to get to the quarterback. And I think in the draft they can get the guy from Georgia, the big D lineman, or they can get some other cheap options, some young options out there. But either way, they have to fix this D line. It is very important that they fix it. Get to the quarterback more. Don't rely on blitzes. I mean, yes, the secondary is pretty good. It can hold its own. But you got to get to the quarterback, organically or, through an actual D lineman and stuff like that. Even further, my point, when they had more than about 3 sacks, they won all those games. Starting in week 2, they had 5 sacks from Carson Wentz and the Commanders. They had 7 sacks versus the Bears in week 17, which they won 41-10. That was, dominant. In week 10, they played the Bears, the first time, and they had 3 sacks and they won that game. And when they played the Buffalo Bills, that was the only time that they lost by 3 points. 3 points, man. So when they get to the quarterback, it is a high chance that they're going to win the game, right? And so in week 14, they played the Vikings. They had 4 sacks. They won. And in week 15, they had 4 sacks versus the Jets, and they won. Simply get to the quarterback. And this doesn't mean just for the Lions. I mean, we look at all-time great defenses, or even now in the NFL, like the Eagles, like the 49ers. When you get to the quarterback, it brings up 3rd and long, 2nd and long, 4th and long, and you get your offense more opportunities to get the ball and get some more points. And the Lions actually trick out at getting the quarterback and getting the running back. And this brings me to my second point, which is getting to the running back, stopping the run game, which really means addressing the linebacker core. Now, as you can see in the clips, and you can watch line games for yourself, the Lions struggle, their linebacker core struggle with filling in gaps, shooting gaps, playing their responsibility, and they actually struggle at stopping the run game so many times this year. And as you can see right here, they gave up 750-yard games on the rushing ground, on the rushing attack, and they lost 5 out of the 7. And as you can see, the Bears the Bears are the worst team in the NFL, and they were just tanking, probably trying to get some highlight reels with Justin Fields. But 320 yards to the Panthers, rushing yards to the Panthers, right? They have Devontae Foreman, and they have that other chubby running back. They're semi-decent. The Eagles, 216, best team in the league, obviously. Seahawks, 235. The Patriots, 188. They lost 29-0 that game. And the Bills, 164. But as we all know, when you stop the run on these early downs, first down, sometimes second down, they're going to be long downs and they're going to be passing downs, and that's where Aiden Hutchinson is most effective, and that's where James Houston, that's where he's most effective at. It's on these passing downs that they can pass rush to get to the quarterback. But the thing is, though, when the linebackers can't pursue the running back correctly, or when the D line can't get any block sheds, it's going to be 2nd down and 2, and now the defense is on their heels. They can take a shot down the field. They can keep running the ball knowing that you can't stop them. And this is where you got to have really good, run-stopping linebackers and even run-stopping safety. Now, the crazy part is Deshaun Elliott was supposed to be that run-stopping safety, and he has some plays, but sometimes, he just can't, again, fill the void, fill the gaps, and help the linebackers out. But I blame this solely on the linebackers. I don't blame this on the safeties at all. Because the linebackers, you can just see, they're just not filling the gaps, missing wide open tackles and things of that nature. And I just think if they address this defense, the Lions defense can be so much better. And a part of that is coaching, possibly finding a new coach, or I don't know what they're going to do about that. But the Lions, they have so much potential with this young core defense, with Jerry Jacobs, Jeff Okudah, Aiden Hutchinson, James Houston. I don't want it to just be wasted because they didn't get something addressed that is so fixable. And again, going back to the drive, the Lions have a top 5 pick. They can use that on Jalen Carter, the big D lineman from Georgia. I think he's a really good prospect for this team, filling that, D tackle, D line spot to help Aiden Hutchinson out. And they can also, get some expensive options like Javon Hargrave, Fletcher Cox, from the Eagles. Sadly, I don't want that to happen. But the thing is, it can happen. This problem is so fixable, right? And coaching is also going to be a big factor. But again, I just want to see the defense, seek their full potential. And speaking of full potential, man, this brings me to my next point, and that is filling the void of the tight end position. This offense, it is handicapped because they need a tight end immediately. Now, yes, the Detroit Lions did have 2 tight ends that had 4 receiving touchdowns from Jared Goff. But the thing is, when you actually watch the Lions play, they weren't really utilized like that in the passing game. Really only being utilized in the red zone. And they just didn't really use them like that. And the thing is, when they traded T.J. Hockenson, everybody and their mama knew that was a bad trade. Because first off, you traded him to a divisional rivalry, didn't get anything back. And number 2, it just limits the weapons that the Lions already had. Now, there are 2 major reasons why you want to have a really good receiving tight end, especially in today's game. Number 1, it provides more options / a security blanket. Now, as we all know, for young quarterbacks, having that security blanket, it really does help them out. It really does calm them down and things like that. And I think T.J. Hockenson could have been that. And number 2, it spreads out the defense. Now, when you have more passing options, it spreads out the defense, and you have 2 really good running backs. So if they have a better offensive-minded coach, I mean, the Lions could have been more dangerous, but no, they weren't. And the thing is, I think if they got another receiving tight end, a guy like Robert Tonyan Jr., if they got Austin Hooper, Evan Ingram, and somebody like that, guys like that in the tight end class this year for the free agency market, they can be more dangerous. And going to this last point, I think you all should pretty much know this. Jared Goff cannot be the quarterback of the future for the organization. He is a decent quarterback, but he can, first off, he's about to approach 30. If not, he's already 30. And the Lions need a new face on this offensive side of the ball. Now, yes, they have Amon St. Brown, but they need to pair him up with another quarterback. And I'm not saying use his first-round pick to get a Bryce Young or a CJ Stroud or anybody like that, but they need to start developing some quarterback, somebody, some way, right? And this brings me to my last point, which I already said it. Find a quarterback as soon as possible to just develop, because Jared Goff has about 2 more years. After 2024, he's an unrestricted free agent, and they need a quarterback that needs to come in and be ready and take that role. I'm not saying use that first-round pick on the defensive side of the ball. Address the defense first, because you already got the quarterback. You need to address the defense, okay? And similar to the Panthers and the Falcons did, getting a Matt Corral, or with the Titans, a Malik Willis. They need to get that quarterback who's in the 2nd, 3rd round, 4th round, and just quietly develop him. And more like an Aaron Rodgers, right? Once Brett Favre left after 2 or 3 years, boom, right? He was ready to play. And I think they can do that exact same formula with a young quarterback. And just again, when a young quarterback has a security blanket tight end and he's a veteran, it can boost his confidence up in so many ways. At Carson Wentz, when he had Zach Ertz his first couple years, it boosted up his confidence when he threw the ball to him. Lamar Jackson had Mark Andrews, and he still has him, and he knows for a fact I can throw it to him and he's going to catch it. And I just think the Lions should take the route of keeping Jared Goff on the team and then finding a young quarterback they can develop, and find a tight end, whether they draft him or they trade or something like that, and have him there when he's ready, man. But Well, it's just my thoughts, man. Just again, address the defensive line, the linebacker core, the tight end problem, and a future quarterback. That's going to pretty much do it. If you like this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. More content will be out, and we are out, man. Peace.